What's up, guys? It's Mr. Johnson coming to you guys with another video discussing Chapter 9 Local Government. So, today we're going to talk about Section 4 how governments works and work together. How government works. Under the United States federal system, the government, the powers of each level of government are clearly defined and understood. At the top, the U.S. Constitution is the supreme law of the land, like we talked about in Chapter 7 or in Chapter 3 when we talked about the Constitution. All levels of government must obey the Constitution. For example, no state or city can require a public official to do things that is prohibited in the Constitution. State constitution get upruled that governs the people of each state. So one of the things that state and local government can work together on is building roads. So though each level it has its defined roles, many issues call for cooperation among local, state, and federal governments. For a good example, can be the use of the nation's roads and highway systems. Today, every state has a network of roads built by local, state, and federal funds. In colonial days, building a road was a local project. If a state wanted a road, the townspeople built it. These were early and primitive roads that were cheaply built and were local governments who can easily plan and pay for those roads. As the West opened, the U.S. government did pay for the construction of some of the east to west roads. However, in general, road building was still a local deal. So here to your left of the page, I have images of one of the more recent interstates built in Alabama. This is Interstate 59 in Birmingham. Used to be called Malfunction Junction. They tore it apart and redid it and made it look better, bigger, and more viable for the Birmingham Metro, as you can tell by looking at the image right here. So let's continue our discussion on building roads. So President Eisenhower, as we talked about when we talked about presidents, he was very instrumental in the construction of the nation's interstate highway system. This was recognized. He recognized this when in 1919, when he was an American soldier in the U.S. Army, he was in a transcontinental motor convoy. On his way up there around the country, he realized that it would be nearly impossible to move American troops from one end of the country to the next in a quick enough manner to where they could be effective in stopping an invasion. So today, the United States has around 46,000 miles of interstate highways connected almost every major city in the United States. The government pays 90% of the cost of building and maintaining this system, but its main purpose was for protection of the United States. And here's another example of a road or interstate system that's being built. This is the Outer Loop project that is in Montgomery that connects Pike Road to the eastern part of Montgomery. Okay, it's an Outer Loop project. Now, this project is in its opening phases. Eventually, this Outer Loop project is supposed to go from this Tallahassee, Montgomery, Pike Road area all the way around to the other end of Montgomery by the Montgomery Regional Airport. So city and local governments work together. So in the same way in which the three levels of government work together, governments of different cities may work together to solve common problems. For example, all city governments are concerned about increasing funding for police department and fire departments education. So they look for ways to lessen the air pollution, to safely deposit trash. The U.S. Conference of Mayors meets regularly so that the country's mayors can compare problems and discuss possible solutions. Another way they can work together is cities can come together to pitch ideas for companies. An example of this would have been when the rural region mayors of Wetumpka, Millbrook, Prattville, Tallahassee, and Montgomery all came together to try to convince Hyundai to build its new factory in Montgomery a long time ago. Those mayors did an excellent job, and therefore we have HMMA, which is the Hyundai Motor Manufacturing Plant in Alabama, that is now located in Montgomery. That provides thousands of jobs to people who live throughout the rural region and has been very impactful on the lives of a lot of people in this area. Federal government programs. So the federal government ensures the cooperation of state and local governments by providing funds to help them implement important programs. For example, a grant in aid are federal funds given to the state and local governments for a specific project like airport construction, pollution control, school construction, things like that. Like grant in aids, block grants are funds given by the federal government to state and local governments to help deal with things. This was an example done during the COVID-19 pandemic, where during the stimulus checks, certain cities were given a couple of hundred thousands or millions of dollars to help prepare themselves for the pandemic.